Yup. Verse 17. And likewise, he that had received 2, he also gained another 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money.
Okay.
I gave you a gift for you to bless other people so that you would be blessed.
Yes.
Sidebar. Some of us, God gives you a seed in terms of a gift, and you consume every seed that he gives you, and that's why you ain't got nothing now. And that's why you desperate and despondent and disconnected. I know what I'm talking about because I've been there. I got the t-shirt for it. But the minute that you start giving, it shall be giving back to you. So you don't understand the mathematics of God. When God gives you a blessing, he gave you a blessing to operate in. You steady thinking about, God, I don't know how we going to do this. And I don't know how we going to do that. And where we going to find the resources from. You ain't God.
Thank you.
Stop worrying about what you got to do. Be obedient. Yo, let me tell you something. I love Nico to death, but every now and then I got to touch him. Why? Because when I tell him to do something, he got, Dad, okay, boy, all right. Move and move quick. I didn't ask you nothing. I know you 6 years old and I'm 47. I've been here 41 years more than you. And with some of y'all, you think that you know it all. Oh, let me, okay. All right. Do me a favor. Let me go to Job 38 and start at around verse 4. Yeah, some of you think you know it all. You know it all. Yeah. Job 38 and start at verse 4, Lenny. You worried about what's in the future. You can't even see 60 seconds into your future. But you telling God how we going to do and what we going to do. The plans that you got in your heart, you didn't even give to you. Yeah, and God got it to, okay, yeah, where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Yeah, tell me if you have understanding. Go to the next one, Lenny. Yeah, who determined its measurements? Surely you know. You were here when I said, let there be light. Yeah, on what were its bases sunk? Or who laid its cornerstone? Yeah, come on. When the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Come on. Or who shut in the sea with doors when it burst out from the womb? Come on, Lenny. When I made clouds its garment and thick darkness its swaddling bed. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lenny. Yeah, Joe. Where we at? 38? I got to move a little bit quicker. 38. So God started flexing his muscles. Yep. Shall it be told him that I speak? If a man speaks, surely he shall be swallowed up. So he goes through this for I think it's about 2 or 3 chapters where God has to lay it out. When y'all get a chance, go home and read 38 and then read 39 and watch God flex his muscles.
Yes.
Who feeds the birds when they're hungry? You ever know who endowed the flowers with their colors or how they even got that color?
Okay.
Who tells the seed to come here and go no further?
Hallelujah.
But all of a sudden now you telling God what you should do.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Yup. Let me go back to Matthew now. Yup. I'm telling y'all, God has called us to do a particular thing in this season. And I'm telling you that he is not playing with you as it relates to what he has called you to do. And I don't know what it is that you chase in, what you invest in, your time in, your thoughts in, but it is not conducive to what God is telling you to do as he created you. I told y'all that each and every person in this room, and I'm going to tell this story until I'm blue in the face. I'm telling you that each and every person in this room, God has endowed you with a specific gift. Now, there are certain gifts that are similar, but they're never quite the same. And when you don't operate in your gift, somebody dies. Verse 20 of Matthew 25. And so that he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents. Yep. And then 22. He also that had received 2 talents came. Yep. Verse 23. His Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Y'all better pay attention to what is going on right here, right now. All right, yup. Verse 24, then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man. You better be careful how you talking to God.
Thank you.
No. You better be careful how you talk to God. The word of God declares that death and life is in the power of tongue. Samson.
That's right.
Oh, y'all don't remember what happened?
Come on, man.
My man said he told her that I told her that the strength lied in my hair. And so she cut my hair off, Lord, and I'm weak. Last time I checked, I ain't seen nobody. Just, you know what I'm saying, like an army of men. And you just, and you fighting people with your hair. I ain't never seen that. What I know is that every time that they came upon you, the Spirit of the Lord fell upon you. But because that's what you told her, so shall it be. Y'all ain't reading your word? Where God says, according to your faith. And some of us, like for real, I know where your faith is because when you open up your mouth and you speak, you tell people exactly where your faith is.
Thank you. That's right.
I know when you're going through troubles. I know when you're going through difficulties when we're having a conversation. I know when you're having, like for real, I know that you haven't been praying.
Yeah.
I know that you have not been spending time in the presence of God because here's what I found out. Next week we're going to dive deep into this stuff. Here's what I found out, that you can't entertain 2 things at the same time. You ain't cognitively dope like that to be able to do that. So when a trigger comes and you get angry, you're going to do 1 or 2 things. You're either going to get angry or you're going to calm yourself down. And I found out that when I get angry, just take 7 deep breaths. Why? Because I'm resetting my thinking and I'm resetting my decision-making process. Why? Because even if I forget why I'm breathing, I'm going to ask myself, why are you breathing like this? Oh, that's right. You're breathing to calm yourself down. I can't calm myself down and be angry at the same time. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. Verse 25 of Matthew 25. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast what is thine. So in other words, the talent that he gave him, he said, okay, Lord, you got, here's your talent back. Here's what he says to him in 27. In 26, his Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant. Now pay attention, y'all. This is the place where we need to pay attention to what God is saying. Right? God said, I gave you, okay. All right. I'm reading this book by Jay Niblick. Right? And I'm going to read all of this to you because they did this thing called the Genius Project. And what they said to the Genius Project was that they were trying to find out what is it that allows certain people to be in a place of success and others not to be in a place of success. So they started running this case study, if you will, and they determined they needed to add levels to it. So first level is below average. Second level is average. Third level is above average. And then fourth level is excellent. But they were like, hold up a second. We're talking about those who exceed above excellent, because that's where God starts, exceedingly abundant. So they had to add a 5th part, right? That they deemed the genius level. Okay, so this is according to the findings. Before we talk about what we did in the Genius Project, let's look at what we did not find, because that's actually quite important as well. We wondered if the data would reveal certain natural thinking talents that were only present in the most successful and missing in the rest. After crunching all of the data, I don't even know if my man is a believer, but this is definitely biblically based. After crunching all the data, what we did not find was a single natural thinking talent that showed up in only the most successful. It turns out that being better at seeing the big picture, the natural talent known as conceptual thinking, is not more likely to make everyone successful than is being better at seeing the small picture, the natural talent for attention to detail. Neither does being better at understanding others, empathy, have any greater impact on success across the board than does being great at doing what you are told to do, following directions. Sure, in some roles, a specific set of talents may be more critical to success than others. We see this all the time with our corporate clients, but did not find any thinking talents that correlated with the success in every role and job. For example, possessing the natural talents for understanding and persuading others is crucial in most sales roles. But when you look at non-sales roles, those talents may have little impact on success. Yes, some natural talents may indeed be vital in certain roles, perhaps even lots of roles, but not in all roles. But y'all, I just need y'all to pay attention to what's going on here. That's right. We failed to find any single natural talent that was the key differentiator between success and failure in all cases. While this might sound disappointing at first, it's actually great news. It's great because were this the case, and had we found talents that must be present in order to succeed, you would pretty much be out of luck if you didn't already possess them. You'd be out of luck because natural talents are hardwired or ingrained in how our minds work. Come on, Matthew 25. And as such, they can't be developed through learning and effort. If we had found certain talents that were mandatory for success in any role, then only people with those talents would be able to become geniuses. Yup. When I say that we didn't find any natural talents, however, that doesn't mean we didn't find any correlations at all among the most successful people. It just means that we didn't find any natural talents that correlated. What we did find in the Genius Project were 2 acquired skills, and these 2 skills were present in all of the successful people and quite absent in those who suffered from the problem. Natural talents come from the way your mind is built, and because of this, they do not change much over the course of your life. Skills, on the other hand, are a form of acquired talent. Skills are the knowledge and experience that you learn throughout your life, and they can be developed. If natural talents are ingrained in you early on in life, skills are added later. If natural talents are fixed and something you can't develop through conscious effort, skills are the opposite. As I said, all of this is great news because it simply means that regardless of the natural talents you possess, you can take whatever those talents are and become more successful with them. Let me read it one more time, because I know if you're anything like me, you need to read, you know what I'm saying, Denise? I got to read it 2-3 times before it sinks in. Yup. As I said, all of this is great news because it simply means that regardless of the natural talents you possess, you can take whatever those talents are and become more successful with them. This means that the playing field is level. Genius performance isn't reserved for just the most intelligent. It isn't just for those who were lucky enough to be born with certain talents. Everyone possesses his or her own unique set of talents, so anyone can become a genius at something. And I'm telling you that we're playing games. I'm telling you we're playing games. The word of God declares that he said to him, because he didn't use his talent, he said, you wicked, where is it? And his Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant, you knowest where he said, you knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gathered where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at coming I should have received mine own with usury. In other words, you should have put my money in the bank. At least I would have got interest on it. Verse 28, so take the talent from him and give it to him who has the 10 talents. In other words, what you don't use, God will take it away from you and give it to people who use it. 29. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. In other words, for those who use their talents, God's going to open up some more talents for you and give you more. Some of you want more, but you ain't even using the resources that God already blessed you with. So you want me to come and give you more resources, and you ain't even using the ones that I gave you now? You wicked, slothful, lazy servant. And that's not what I said. That's what God said. And cast the worth. Oh, come on. Let me tell y'all something. For those of you who don't know, like for real, in Matthew 25, it's written in red. And when it's written in red, who's speaking? Oh, come on. Hear what God says. Yep. In verse 30, and cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And I'm telling you that God gave you a talent. I don't care if you young, old, blind, crippled, crazy. If you are alive and, oh, come on somebody, and breath is still going through your lungs, you are not existing just for the sake of existing. Why? Because one thing I definitely know, if I don't know nothing else, is that God is a God of purpose. So there is not a second, a millimeter of a second that passes by where God ain't doing something. And doing something with purpose. He never does anything arbitrarily. And I'm saying for some of us right now, like we're not experiencing what we should not be experiencing. Like for real, some of you chased money instead of your gift. And you chased money instead of your gift because you didn't believe God to provide everything that you needed for your gift. And you don't even know. The book just told you. Yo, and this is the reason why unbelievers are blowing up and we ain't blowing up. Because even they know. Even they know. You ever wondered how God, they ain't even believers. They ain't even the body of Christ, but they blowing up. They Gucci'd out, driving the finest of cars, and you don't even know. Like for real, there's this mindset. Like it's bad to have that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying, Sly? Like they got this understand. Like for real, I'm gonna be fresh all the time. I'm the child of the king. What anybody told you?
Amen.
You know what I'm saying, Sly? Like for real, I like for real, all the time. Because I'm a child of the king. How you a child of the king and you living mediocre? So that when you're supposed to move into spaces with those who do have, they asking themselves, why should I take on your lifestyle? Look at my lifestyle and look at yours. Look at the house that I live in. And I should be able to be in a position to be like, yo, look at the house that you live in. But let me show you. Look at the house that I live in. Look what I drive. And when I walk into spaces now, and they're like, yep, oh, okay. When you operate in your gift, God opens up more gifts. When you open up more gifts, you start doing things on a level that you've never done things. If it's one thing that I wish the people of God would get, number one, identify what your gift is and eliminate fear. Yeah, some of us are operating in fear. Yeah, you heard what the last servant said? He said, I hid the gift because I was afraid. Afraid? Afraid for what? I didn't give you the spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. You got power that, like for real, the enemy don't even have. He just knows how to distract you from your gift so that you can't be all that God has called you here to be. And I'm saying that our churches will continue to suffer. We will continue to operate in the space that we operating in because we don't know who we are. When you know who you are, and you know whose you are, you start adopting the thing that God told you to do, and you stop operating in fear. And when you stop operating, let me tell you something. There's some spaces, and I'm not saying this because I'm trying to brag or nothing. I'm trying to testify to you to the truth of what God can do. Me and my wife started looking at and doing some real estate investments because I'm a firm believer in creating generational wealth. The word says that I should leave an inheritance for my children and my children's children. And some of us looking at our bills right now, and we're looking like, yeah, I don't know about that inheritance thing, so you better get to work. You better get to work quick. And me and God has allowed me, because I was operating in my gift, God allowed me to move into some spaces that I would not normally move into had I not been operating in my gift. It allowed me to make some connections and rub some shoulders with some people. Me and Faith was going through it for about a year and a half, but I realized why. Because she's more of a detailed person and she's considering all the details that I'm not considering. And we need that, amen, right? But there's sometimes I'm like, boo, this is as good as it's going to get. You better get up on here and pull this trigger. And that's where we balance each other out. But now we're about to start making some investments in a way that will allow us a couple of years from now to be in a position to leave an inheritance for my children, help the church, pay a couple tuitions for students who need to go to school, be in a position to do some things. But the reason why some of you can't, remember the first thing that he told Adam and Eve when this whole thing jumped off? He told them, be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth, have dominion. Some of us can't even get to the place of being fruitful because you're still operating in fear as it relates to your gift.